Let's have a look at the good, bad and ugly of this IPL auction of 2021 on Ask Hoggy on Hogg's Vlog. Okay, question number one. This is from Cold Coffee, and what a good question it is. It's getting right to the heart of the issue. Why does Glenn Maxwell get such a large amount for his below average performances? Well, I don't know why RCB have gone for him, because out of 9 IPLs, he's only performed in 2 of them. This is a huge risk, so you're on a wing on a prayer with him. For me, I'm sitting there thinking, right, I've got AB de Villiers, who they used down in the lower order last year to finish off the innings in some games. They don't want that. They want him to bat higher up and try and bat or use as many overs as possible. I think they'll open with Virat Kohli, with Patekal, AB de Villiers coming in out 3, and Maxwell will come in around about 4 or 5. I just think with that pressure taken off Maxwell with the 2 legends of Kohli and de Villiers, they think that he might stand up and deliver. It's yet to be seen. But the money that Glenn Maxwell gets, it's well overpriced for his performances. But it's not his fault. He's always putting his name in the auction and teams keep buying him. This is from Nishay. Does Chris Morris deserve to be sold at such a high price? He also gets injured frequently. Well, good observation there from you there, Nishay. But Chris Morris deserving that high price? Rajasthan Royals wanted an all-rounder. They wanted someone who is a clean hitter to finish off the innings, but also someone who's very good with the new ball and handy with the old ball in the death overs. He's a perfect fit, considering that Stokes is not going to bowl too many overs through this IPL, because Sangakkara's come out and said they don't want to overwork Stokes. So they needed someone like Morris, and that was a price tag that was put on him. The bids led Rajasthan Royals to pay for him at that high price. And again, I think he's overpriced, but he's a man that you do want in your team. And yeah, I agree with you. He's overpriced. Can't believe it. But there wasn't much else in the auction in the all-round department. So we've got to look out the scenario there as well. This is from Madikini Ajar. There you go, Madikini. Which team has got the smartest and most tactical buys according to you? Well, Mumbai Indians. What they did, they threw all their overseas players out, and if they wanted to come back in the auction, well, they had to put their name in the auction. In doing so, they got Adam Milne, who's a good acquisition to this squad, and they got Nathan Coulter-Nile back. Now, remember, they paid 8 crore for him the year before, and this year they've got him for a little cheaper at 5 crore. So they've got an extra 3 crore to spend on other players. And the other thing is they needed a quality spinner, and they've got the 3rd leading wicket taker in the competition in Piyush Chawla. I think he is a good selection for Mumbai Indians. So Mumbai Indians are a lot stronger. And again, I think they're going to go into this tournament as favourites. I think they'll take it out. Now, Crick Legends. How you going, Crick Legends? Your thoughts on Dawid Malan going for a cheap price despite being the number 1 T20 batsman in the world? I thought he would have been going up around the 8 crore mark. He has dominated around the world at the international stage. He's performed well in T20 tournaments around the globe. I think he did pretty well in the Pakistan League as well, which is similar conditions to what we're going to get in India. So for me, I was very surprised. But Kings 11, they got a bargain there. And I thought they would have used that bargain to find another middle order batsman, because they're very light on in that department, but they didn't. They used the money that they saved for Malan to buy 2 overseas or Australian quicks in Jhye, Richardson and Meredith. I thought they only needed one of those 2. So for me, I think Kings 11 have wasted the cheap opportunity that was presented there with Malan by not getting a middle order batsman to help out that batting order. Okay, Rahul Lanki, how are you going, mate? Which team would be the most satisfied after the auction in your opinion? I think KKR getting Harbhajan Singh, they'll be absolutely wrapped with that. They need an experienced Indian spinner, and he can also handle the willow as well, so it gives them extra batting depth. So I think they have won there. So he's the only change that's going to be in their front half 11. And Delhi Capitals getting Umesh Yadav, the Indian pacer. Ponting will get the best out of him, and that's where Delhi Capitals were lacking last year, their depth in Indian quick. So they got Ishant Sharma there and Umesh Yadav, so they've got experience in that department. So Delhi Capitals, I think, are the second favourite in this IPL this year with that acquisition. Okay, this is the next question. Shazvat Awasti, I think it says. But Shazvat, thanks very much for joining me. Why weren't franchises going for Indian bowlers like Umesh Yadav and going for inexperienced bowlers like Kyle Jamieson instead? Look, I don't understand that. When you've got someone like Umesh Yadav, a quality Indian fast bowler, up there for auction, everyone should be trying to go for him, because that is one of the hardest, especially in this IPL with 8 teams. It's very hard to get quality Indian pacers that have got international experience behind them. So it's a huge surprise. The only thing I can look at is the last couple of years, Umesh Yadav has been a little expensive and hasn't been on his game. And with Ricky Ponting, the coach, as I said earlier, he's going to get the best out of him. Kyle Jamieson, the youngster, you've got Meredith and also jhye Richardson with Kings 11 going after them. I think it's a huge risk spending big money on fast bowlers that haven't been proven in Indian conditions. But we'll wait and see. I think it's huge risk, especially the money that was spent on Kyle Jamieson. He's only played 3 T20 internationals for New Zealand, so really he hasn't got a big background to show that he's worth that money. Yeah, it's absolutely. I don't understand it why they're doing that, but a lot of franchises go for the overseas quicks, because generally overseas quicks are a lot quicker than the most of the Indian bowlers or Indian quicks. But that's a good question, Shazvar. Next question, Abby Patak. How you going, Abby? According to you, which were the 3 best buys of this auction? Well, Malan for Kings 11, they needed a batter, and they got the best T20 batter in the world for a very cheap price. Mumbai Indians, Piyush Chawla, highest wicket taker in the competition. You can't go wrong there. And Harbhajan Singh out KKR, 5th highest wicket taker, and he's got a very good economy. So for me, I think Singh is probably the best buy, followed by Malan and then Chawla. And the smartest buy of the tournament was Nathan Coulter-Nile, throwing him back in the auction and then getting him back for a lot cheaper this year. So for me, the IPL auction had some surprises in it, and but they also had some good buys. So going into this tournament this year, I think Mumbai Indians are going to win it, and Delhi Capitals are going to be very competitive. Those two will play off in the final. Kolkata Knight Riders, I think they've selected well as well, and those 3 particular teams are my top 3 favourites after this particular auction. Thanks very much for joining me. What about you get your little pen and get your mates to subscribe down on that little button there, because there's a test match coming around and we've got a review. No, not a review, that's after the game, George. A preview of that test coming up soon. All right, enjoy your cricket, enjoy your day. Thanks, guys.